Am I seriously down to just 4 planes? Bloody hell, the Air Force took a hammering. Oops. Oh, also, why are you air supporting? You shouldn't be. Your job's just a fighter. I didn't realise that you could do both. Okay, Daniel looks a lot cooler in the profile pic than he does in New Vegas. Is Daniel one of the guys on the Lonely... or what's it called? Happy Trails. Impact bumpers. Research finished. Because again, haven't done that DLC yet. Wasteland cars, we are so close to being able to get. Now, what's the difference? Wasteland cars are more expensive, they use more resources, they are slightly more reliable, same hardness. I don't think they're worth it. They're just 1 kilometer faster, that's the only difference. However, salvaged APCs versus salvaged gun trucks, defense goes up, hardness goes up, doubled in fact, breakthrough goes up, soft attack goes up, air attack goes up, armor doubled. Yeah, okay, so salvaged APCs are definitely worth it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait 4 days and then we'll start on that. Unless, of course, there's a technology to research. Which there will be. Okay, noted. Daniel's a preacher for the Soros tribe and honest arts. Pretty pacifist. Okay. Now to see what the last autosave was for broken code since my computer decided to restart without warning. Oh, here we go. Let's go and get miniaturized circuitry. So, we do have a slight problem in that a lot of my economy is now going to be based on circuitry. And that's not something you can build, is it? Water, scrap metal, power. No, it's not. So... huh. We'll need to upgrade any areas that produce circuitry, of which we have 2. New Canaan's already fully upgraded. However, Vault 24 is not, and could earn us another 3, but that's still only 3. Quarterly income report. Good. It's not the followers demanding I destroy more of my factories. Did Joshua already arrive from the Legion in this playthrough? Yep. He's one of my bosses. Joshua Graham. Although apparently they're nerfing him in the update I saw. Which, considering he's already under strength, made me very unhappy. Hopefully they're just reducing his level. Oh dear, that's another cut-off. Gotta be careful, NCR. Oh dear, Western Brotherhood are also across the river. That's not good. How did they cross? Oh, here. Yeah, NCR are kinda screwed. Because they've lost all of their industry in the south. And they've lost San Francisco too. Alright, loads of technologies, crikey. Those were the planes. Now, monoplane fighter, heavy, fleet, or monoplane escort. What are the differences? Escorts can go further. Same air defense. They have less air attack than the heavies. And less than the monoplanes. Agility is the same, air superiority is the same, naval attack is the same, ground attack is about the same. Heavy monoplanes do more. So yeah, I think the escort fighters are just monoplane fighters, but longer range, but less damaging. Interesting distinctions, though. No, I'm pretty happy with monoplane fighters. I'm not going to bother researching any further with that. And I think we are already producing ground pounders, right? Yes. Although that requires even more circuitry, doesn't it? Yep. Damn it. Population growth, 100%. And construction speed. The more monoplane fighter uses 0.2 less cells per plane. Cool. Unita have stopped their lend leases. Yeah, all of my friends in the surrounding countries have stopped their lend leases. And they did very much keep us in the fight, because they were giving me lots and lots of infantry. Fall of Heaven's Gate! I can't believe that High Chapel is winning this quite so convincingly. The Holy Crusade against High Chapel proved too much for Heaven's Gate to handle. After a grisly campaign, the carcasses of both the faithful and their creations, born of steam, littered the Promised Land, creating a trail that led all the way back to the broken gates of the cathedral and the ransacked city itself. Fighting in the city was intense, as every able-bodied man, woman and child was ordered by the clergy to give their lives to the Archangel's vision of a pure world. High Chapel forces were involved in bitter urban fighting as they fought uphill to reach the cathedral at the top of the mountain the city rested upon. With each city block heavily contested by heavily entrenched infantry and civilian militia, for once in decades the smoke coming from the city was not a call for mass. Looks like they ran out of steam. Touché. Help the helpless. This would be recovering our industry, or we can get a bunch of additional factories. I'm going to do this one first. There aren't a lot of people in the wasteland with guidance to spare for anyone who isn't... Actually, no, we're going to go for the civilian factories. We cannot use any and all means available just to protect the stone and water and a piece of the sky. We have to hold on to our faith. Far more enduring. Resource gain efficiency. That's true. I don't have any of that researched. That's a very good point. But all the same, I don't think I'm going to be able to rely on motorized as heavily as I was kind of hoping I would be able to. The other thing I wanted to do was remove those completely. And are we going to have space to make these into APCs? Actually, let's just turn you into APCs. We are short, but I think we'll make up that deficit, and also we just don't have the manpower to replace them anyway. And then this will allow us to reduce the manpower usage by reducing the number of motorized infantry we have. And that's going to leave us a fair number of motorized available, which we can then start to use for the infantry units and start to motorize them. Although we will need to get rid of the demolitions. Which I think I might just... I'll leave those for now. We'll just slowly but surely start turning these into motorized. Which we just about have enough money for. And... gonna want some of these support units. And then finally, we're going to want to duplicate these and call them special forces. And these guys' job is going to be breakthrough and just damage. 41, we can probably reduce that and go with even more of these. 27 organization. It's low, but we can actually increase that. And these guys hit really sodding hard now. With some more support demolitions. Sure. I like it. Disciples of God. We'll get rid of you. We'll do that in a minute. What should we call these? Crusaders? Do the Mormons have Crusaders? 27 organization is oof. Yeah, but that's because I haven't actually researched the organization bonuses for Special Forces. I suspect that when I do, they will get better. Missionaries. I like it. Missionaries. And we can have 10 of these missionary forces if we ever get manpower. Cool.
What's up?
How much manpower do we get? 42. How much am I short? 3,000. It's going to be a while. But there are a couple of things I can do. Bearing in mind, again, I am on the absolute lowest manpower law. I just can't change it. So it's still kind of a miracle that we managed to beat the White Legs with no manpower. Entry is cancelled. Oh, wow, that was... that was bloody quick. Crikey. Alright, so one thing I do know that we need is more energy. So I'm going to start building a couple more energy production places around. And then I think we're going to continue with the infrastructure because our economy is still not great either. Bolt 24 is going to get a big upgrade. Although we don't have Rigdon, so we're not actually going to get the railroads anymore, which is unfortunate. But once we've cored the occupied lands, we should get an influx of manpower. Depending on how much the Whitelegs had actually used from those provinces. Because it's still a portion of recruitable population. If that portion's already dead, not much we can do. Do the Mormons have Crusaders? Well, I guess now they do. Airbase raids. Still upgrading the old Air Force. Air superiority, ground attack, or strategic bombing. I'm going to go with the air superiority. The other one that we do need to do at some point is the special forces stuff. Get some more organization going. But that's not a priority at the moment. Arroyo has joined the Brotherhood of Steel. Traitors! Now NCR really is dead. Yeah. Because now NCR is going to get attacked from above. Good move for Arroyo, but still traitors. Reinforce rate, this is going to lead to more decryption, which I do like the sound of. Oh, NTR managed to link up again. The Guerreros de Honduras has joined the Jungle Pact. We really need Rio Grande to get their act together and go after Caesar's Legion. Are they still fighting at Jizisa? Yeah, of course they are. How many losses have they suffered there? I dread to think. Uh, 13,000 against 3. It's just a butcher's field. This war is really bad for them. Rebuild the destroyed settlements. Help the helpless or preach in the occupied lands? No, we need the manpower coming through. Thanks to the aid and protection we have provided to those south of our traditional borders, the local population has become open to hearing the word of our Lord. We should preach to them, and maybe enough of them shall find God in their hearts. Right, and we can change manpower laws again. Oh, we can get rushing wind now. Right, because we own New Nepthy. Which is that awesome plus 7.5% organization, which I could really have done with during the previous war. Still want to get the conflicted industrialist at some point. We could also do a training. I'd forgotten that we had no training still. We will eventually want to level that up. I think right now, though, I'm just going to hold off spending political power in case I need it for other things. Industrial fertilizer. Okay, now we're going to want the resource efficiencies, which is these ones. And also the upgraded APCs, must not forget that. Once we have bricks, we'll use that to get the upgraded APCs so we can start actually producing them. Right, and that's all of the factories back again, so we can now really start choosing what we want to produce, although with the circuitry problems we do need to be a little bit wary of that. So I think we'll do something like this, because we do still have a lot of regular guns. And we'll need to buy in circuitry, although we might actually be able to trade for it now. I know we already are. Oh, here we go, foragers. Can we upgrade you to a 7? No. Okay, now we have some. Not very good rates, though. Yampa declared war on the Withered Dogs. But we are traders, so we are going to do trading. 1 whole fighter plane per year. We have really low efficiency. It will build up. And then energy we are dealing with because we're building power plants. That's one thing I can provide. Bricks is finished, so now we're going to get the salvaged APC. We'll start building those. Washington Brotherhood declared war on Troll Warren. That's a big showdown. Yeah, the Legion in this is ever so slightly scary. That's definitely true. They're still more or less being held around the river. I mean, there is this influx, but that's a cut-off. They are holding them. It's just a question of how long can they hold them. Because Rio Grande really needs to get its act together, but I just can't see them taking out Ejecito anytime soon. 3 fighters should be able to kill Gente del Sol, if they can cross the river. Reaching the occupied lands. Okay, that should be a manpower buff at the end of the day. Unlocks decisions to bring the neighbouring tribes into the fold. I'm not 100% sure what it means by that. I think this is Puppet and this is Alliance. I think. Well, regardless, I want to help the helpless now that we're actually producing equipment again. There aren't a lot of people in the wasteland, with guidance to spare for anyone who isn't kin, but we will spare what we can. I think actually what I might end up... No. Can't afford that. I could reduce the number of cars we're doing and get some more gun trucks. And then emphasize the mechanized units over the motorized. Although it's actually the motorized which we have a bonus on. Why is that? Because we went with the car manufacturer instead of the Angry armor. Yeah, it's reliability and max speed though. This one is a much better choice. Alright, fair enough. Alright, Mortalings, are we doing a good business run? Of course we are. When are we not doing a good business run? Followers help in the settlements, gain more population, another factory. Do it. Still only earning 42. That... Did that core everywhere it was supposed to? Jericho, Vault 24, Nepthi and Manti. I guess it's only a couple of places. Vault 24 is... Core. Nepthi, core. Manti, core. And Jericho. Right? Where is Jericho? Enemy territory. Oh, there it is. So is Jericho then where the TV series Jericho is based? Where are the Rockies? Where's Denver from here? Shoshone's there, so it's going to be not that far away. What would Denver be? Yeah, that's true, yeah, I could use the search. The thing is, I don't think that Denver exists as a city. I mean, we can search, but I doubt it does. That's Denio. There is no Denver. Because I know Shoshone is not that far away. Colorado is well to the east of Utah. Really? Problem is, it's kind of hard to see the terrain here. Let's go to a terrain map mode. That didn't help. East of Unitah. Oh, these must be the Rockies here. Dog City? Dog City must be Denver. Yeah, I think it is. If these are the Rockies right here. There's region map mode 2 with region names. Well, the problem is the regions won't give us much information because they're going to be different names, like Dog City. So where was Jericho from here? Jericho was a long way away. Jericho's way over here. There's no way. So no. Jericho in the TV series Jericho is near Denver. Because they see Denver getting nuked. True, but Denver is Denver and Fallout, or at least Colorado. Well, that was the thing. I didn't know exactly where Colorado was, not being able to see where the Rockies are. Like, it's hard to see where the Rockies are with this map. Okay. But the reason I was talking about that is the TV series Jericho is awesome. You should totally go and watch it. Unfortunately, it got cancelled, which sucks. But it, for fans of Fallout, we'll particularly like Jericho, because it's all about the aftermath of America getting nuked. And then how they deal with the fallout and stuff without actually having vaults or anything. It's on Netflix. You can find it there. Long range radio, done. Right, let's get some more decryption so we can keep spying on our neighbours. High Chapel took 13 states. Heaven Gate was annexed. Wow, that backfired. Crikey. Unfortunately, Heaven's Gate was one of the possible saviours against Caesar's Legion. So Caesar's Legion really is just going to go on a rampage. Blessed be the ancestors. Oh, yeah, we've got our stability back too. That's nice. Rockies would likely have a lot of stones around. I mean, you're not wrong. The 80s are on the Rockies. I don't think so. I think this would be Sierra Nevada? Sierra Nevada is the one that's on the border of California. It's just outside of Sacramento. Where's Sac City? This is Sierra Nevada here. This is hills rather than mountains. Work camps, done. Okay, so we're starting to get some of our resource efficiency up. We're still -6 on the old circuitry. And power. We're still building the power plants? Yeah, we are. I would actually go so far as to say we probably need some more power. Side channel. Let's go for pulse code modulation. Up the helpless. There it is. I was just thinking, like, we haven't had a focus for a while. Have I forgotten to do one? Preach of the White Legs has completed the focus. Withdraw to the south, which would be this one, which releases the White Legs as a puppet. Caesar's Legion's influence on the White Legs shall be crushed. Cement authority brings decisions to bring neighbouring tribes into the fold. Or we can work on these. To work with puppets. And we have a lot of things building up the puppets. Also, we do have... Oh no, we're not protecting Utah anymore. Never mind. We have squash corruption. I think that... Yeah, protecting Utah... with Rigdon would be quite interesting. So protect Utah, I would have said we definitely need to go for the native puppets. Like loads and loads of puppets. But now we can go for a centralized authority. So rekindled peace building. Aid the tribe. Well, we don't have any puppets. This is the thing. There's no real point building any or getting these because it's not going to do anything for us. Back to normality requires one of the following. Squash corruption. So I think we're going to cement authority, squash corruption, then return to normality. And that's going to put us one step closer to getting safeguard trade routes. Sierra Nevadas are on the border of the NCR. The 80s are in Nevada. I-80 is the road from San Francisco to Chicago. The bit that the 80s are on is a bit in Nevada. In my game, the White Legs just died when trying to fight the Time Dudes, and my focus went to hell as Canaan, basically nothing to do. That's unfortunate. Because I'm pretty sure the Timekeepers are supposed to just die. White Legs not existing or being non-independent should maybe lead to another part of the tree. I think it does? Because there is a way of avoiding the war with White Legs, and I think that's Canaan and Glory. You might even just bypass this whole section entirely and go back to Return to Normality.